adopted first up 1967 Lincoln penny with the. Today we are exploring the powerful story of the 1967 Lincoln penny, one of the most intriguing coins in the modern history of United States coinage. This 1-cent coin might look simple at first glance, but it carries with it a deep and rich narrative of economic reform, political decisions, mint experimentation, and numismatic mystery. The 1967 penny represents a pivotal moment in American coin production and has become extremely rare in certain conditions and varieties, which has elevated its importance for collectors, investors, and historians alike. The 1967 Lincoln cent was minted during a time of major transition within the United States, mint due to widespread concerns about coin shortages, hoarding, and changes in metallic content. In the mid-1960s, the United States government undertook a major reform of its coinage system following the Coinage Act of 1965, which eliminated silver from the dime and quarter and reduced silver content in the half-dollar. This was a result of rising silver prices and increasing public speculation, which had caused people to pull coins from circulation. The mint needed to modernize and stabilize production to meet the demand for coins, and the 1967 Lincoln penny was one of the outcomes of this turbulent and transformative period. One of the most notable features of the 1967 penny is its lack of a mint mark. This was a deliberate decision by the U.S. Mint to discourage coin hoarding. The logic was that by removing the mint mark from coins, collectors and the public would no longer seek out coins from specific mints, thereby reducing the incentive to pull new coins from circulation. The result was that all 1967 pennies, regardless of whether they were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, bore no mint mark, which makes identifying their origin a unique challenge for collectors today. This also makes them historically significant as part of a 3-year experiment between 1965 and 1967, when mint marks were completely omitted from all circulating coinage. The 1967 Lincoln penny was struck on plankets made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which was the standard composition. At the time, the design itself remained unchanged, with the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right on the obverse, created by Victor David Brenner, a design first introduced in 1909. To commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, the reverse featured the Lincoln Memorial, which had been introduced in 1959, marking the sesquicentennial of Lincoln's birth, replacing the previous wheat ears design and reinforcing national identity through architectural symbolism. While over 1 billion Lincoln cents were struck in 1967, making it appear as an ordinary coin, the reality is far more nuanced. Some of the coins from this year have become extremely rare due to minting errors, off-metal strikes, dye varieties, and high-grade mint state examples with full original luster. Collectors have reported double dyes, off-center strikes, and other anomalies. The other anomalies that can dramatically increase the value of this coin. In some cases, rare era coins have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, especially when certified by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC. Throughout this 2-hour video, we will journey through the socio-economic factors that shaped the mint's production decisions in the 1960s. We will explore how the removal of mint marks impacted coin collecting at the time and what legacy that decision left for modern numismatists. We will examine how the mint handled the logistics of striking billions of coins across multiple facilities under strict policy constraints, and how that impacted quality control, resulting in the rare era varieties we find today. We will also explore the major auction sales involving the 1967 Lincoln penny and what makes certain specimens stand out in the eyes of professional graders and collectors. We will show you how to examine your own 1967 penny for signs of doubling, die cracks, off-center strikes, and other unusual characteristics that could mean you are holding an extremely rare piece of American history without even knowing it. Whether you are a new collector just learning the ropes, or a seasoned numismatist looking to deepen your understanding of this overlooked yet important coin, the story of the 1967 Lincoln penny offers rich insight into the intersection of money, politics, industry, and art. So sit back and get ready for an in-depth exploration into the incredible journey of this fascinating 1-cent piece only here on LC Coin. Let's get started. First up, the 1982 Washington quarter dollar with the rare and eye-catching mint mark from the Denver Mint, featuring an extraordinary red color shade. Coin isn't just another quarter collectible, a treasure from American coinage history that is creating a buzz in today's action-packed coin market. If you're a serious collector or even a curious beginner, this is one coin you'll want to know everything about. So buckle up, because the value, history, and unique features of this coin are nothing short of fascinating. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, intended to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It quickly became a staple of American pocket change and has remained a part of the U.S. currency system for decades. By 1982, the Washington quarter had seen several design evolutions and improvements. The coin, minted in 1982 at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D mark, was part of a production run or diet of high standards but rarely produced coins with the vibrant red color tone we're highlighting today. This red hue is not only unusual but visually stunning, setting this particular coin apart from the standard silver gray tones seen in circulated quarters. What makes the 1982 D Washington quarter truly special is not just its historical roots or the D mint mark, but the stunning and rare red color shade condition that distinguishes it from the rest. This red toning is typically the result of chemical reactions between the coin's metal and its storage environment over decades. When this toning occurs naturally and evenly across the coin, it becomes one of the most recognized American coins in circulation. The 1982 D quarter was minted in Denver, Colorado, during a period when the U.S. Mint faced significant budget constraints and operational changes. This year was particularly important because the Mint made a major decision that would affect collectors for decades. They halted the production of mint sets that are specially packaged and circulated coins typically offered to collectors. Since mint sets were not issued in 1982, many coins from that year did not receive the same level of preservation as those from years with available sets. This makes high-grade 1982 D quarters difficult to find and increases their value, especially in mint state condition. The quarter was composed of copper and nickel layered over a pure copper core, composition that had replaced the traditional 90% silver alloy in 1965, following the Coinage Act of 1965 due to rising silver prices. By 1982, the copper-nickel-clad composition had become standard for most circulating U.S. coinage, including dimes, quarters, and half dollars. The weight of the coin was 5.67 grams with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and a reeded edge. The Denver Mint was responsible for producing hundreds of millions of these coins, which bore the D Mint mark to the right of Washington's ponytail. Despite the large mintage, most 1982 D quarters entered circulation and experienced heavy use, which wore down their surfaces and reduced the number of surviving examples in high grade. This factor is a major reason why the 1982 D quarter has become a sought-after collectible among modern coin enthusiasts and investors. Collectors often seek examples graded by Professional services like PCGS and NGC in grades MS65 and above, as they are significantly more scarce than in other years. The coin also represents an era of transition in the American economy and coinage. The early 1980s were a time of inflation, economic recession, and changes in metal prices, all of which influenced decisions at the U.S. Mint 1980 to sow both experimentation and cost-cutting efforts at the Mint, including trials with different dies, plankets, and minting techniques. Errors from this year are especially fascinating, with examples such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, and double dies, all adding layers of complexity and excitement for numismatists around the country. The 1980 to D quarter also serves as an educational tool for those learning how to identify key features of circulated and uncirculated coins, how to spot genuine mint errors, and how to grade a coin based on luster, contact marks, and strike strength. It is a great example of how even relatively modern coins can hold significant numismatic value due to historical circumstances, production anomalies, and collector demand. Over time, this quarter has evolved from being common pocket change to a significant collectible with increasing interest in varieties and condition rarity. Some coin dealers and auction houses report strong demand and rising prices. Today we are going deep into the world of one of the most circulated and widely recognized coins in American history, the 1980 D Washington quarter dollar. This coin is more than just everyday pocket change. It is a product of decades of tradition, changes in minting technology, shifts in the American economy, and evolving numismatic interests, and its story connects us to the early days of American coinage as well as the modern era. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the founding father and first president of the United States. The design, created by John Flanagan, featured a left-facing portrait of Washington on the obverse, while the reverse displayed a proud heraldic eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, symbolizing both strength and peace. This design was chosen to replace the standing Liberty quarter and became an instant classic, remaining in circulation with minimal changes for decades now. Fast forward to 1980, the United States Mint was in the midst of a high production period, with the economy on the rise and inflation prompting changes in coin usage. The 1980 D Washington quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark located to the right of Washington's ponytail. This facility was one of the most important in the country and had been producing coins since 1906. The coin itself was made of a copper-nickel clad composition, which had become standard since 1965 after the Coinage Act of 1965 removed silver from dimes and quarters. Due to rising silver prices, the clad coin features an inner core of pure copper with an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it the recognizable silver-like appearance, but without the intrinsic metal value. This made it cost-effective for mass production and daily circulation. The 1980 D quarter weighs 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. Millions of these coins were struck and released into circulation, with a mintage that surpassed 500 million pieces. This made it one of the most common coins of its time. However, while the sheer number makes it seem ordinary, the condition, scarcity, and historical context give this coin hidden value. Collectors today look for coins in higher grades, especially those certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC, and those in MS65 or better condition are far less common than circulated examples, making them more valuable and collectible. The 1980 D Washington quarter also represents an important point in numismatic history. During this era, the Mint was exploring efficiency upgrades and tightening quality control, but many coins from this period still show signs of rushed production, such as weak strikes, die fatigue, or planchet issues, which add another layer of interest for collectors and era hunters. Numismatists particularly value coins with unique traits such as double dies off-center, strikes, die clashes, or coins with a full strong strike from a fresh die set, because these examples help tell a broader story of minting practices during the late 20th century. The Denver Mint has always been known for producing coins with sharp detail and quality control, and in 1980 it lived up to this legacy. But even so, the number of pristine specimens with original mint luster and full details is much lower than one might expect when factoring in circulation, wear handling, and the absence of collector preservation at the time. Over the years, the 1980 quarter has grown in significance, especially among collectors who focus on full date runs of Washington quarters, or who appreciate the transition period that led up to the state quarters in 1999. Its value is not just monetary but also educational, teaching us about design, longevity, historical symbolism, and the evolution of American currency. In the later part of this video, we will explore in depth the origin of the Washington quarter, the specific events of 1980 that affected coin production, market performance of the 1980 quarter over time, grading tips from professionals, how to spot high-grade and error examples, and what makes this coin a sleeper gem in modern numismatics. So whether you are a beginner building your first coin folder or a seasoned investor looking for key dates and high grades, the 1980 Washington quarter dollar has a place in your collection and a story worth learning and sharing. Grab your loop, your coin albums, and join us for the